Hello viewers, myself is Dr. Neeta and you are watching my channel Learn Literature with Dr. Neeta. So let us begin today's topic. Hello dear students, today we would learn about Orientalism. It is a text which was written by Edward Said, a famous critic and philosopher. He was born in 1935 and this text Orientalism was published in 1978. With the publication of this text, there were a number of discussion on the term Orientalism. It has just changed the whole of the definition of Orientalism as people used to think about it. And one thing I would like to tell, that when he made his presence felt with this book Orientalism, prior to it he was influenced by the French philosophers like Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault. Michel Foucault's ideas on post-structuralism and Jacques Derrida's theory of deconstruction affected him in such a way that he tried to deconstruct the whole of the concept of Orientalism. So let us begin with this concept of Orientalism. So what Edward Said has described about it, we would describe, but prior to it we would try to understand the meaning of the term Orientalism. So the term Orientalism is derived from the Latin word oriens, meaning east rising sun, and from the Greek word horos, meaning direction of the rising sun. It means whether you take its Latin root or you take its Greek roots, the meaning is one, that the things of east. The term first occurred in English around 1779. Initially, Orient was referred to the area, the Middle East, North Africa and Asia. Orientalism developed in the West, especially during 18th century, as a branch of knowledge to the study of languages, literature, religions, thoughts, arts and social life of the East. Those who were involved in these studies were called Orientalists. I have found that a number of students are confused regarding this term Orientalist. Orientalists are not the people who are living in Orient, rather the people who are studying the language, literature, religion and all these things of the people of the East are called Orientalists. Orientalists are basically the people from the West who studied, who made research, who took initiative to learn about the language, literature, religion, thoughts, ideologies, culture, etc. of the East. So when this theory came into existence, all these things are affected. The language, literature, the perception about all these things undergone a kind of change. The concept of Orientalism is so wide that it could be applied to a number of disciplines like English literary studies, history, anthropology, sociology, cultural studies, etc. Now come to Edward Said and his Orientalism. Edward Said was an Arab Christian scholar who studied not only in Palestine but also in America, and the concept of Orientalism that he gave, that in an entirely a new light, and his observation initiated a discussion on the concept. And now how his views on Orientalism are framed or they are shaped, there were a number of factors, but the factors which I have discussed here are mainly four. His primary education or his childhood education was in Palestine and Egypt, and later his family has to shift from there to United States of America because his father was a businessman So his adulthood education was there in the United States of America. So he was having an idea what is taught there in Egypt and what is taught in United States of America. After that, another factor that shaped his concept of Orientalism was that his profession was that of a professor. After his studies, he was appointed as a teacher, and later on he became a professor of English and comparative literature in Columbia University, America. So again he got a chance to study the things from the perception which he initially had at his childhood and the perception which today he is having and he studied when he was in United States of America. And the fourth factor was that he was an avid reader, and that is why he read a range of literary and scholarly texts, and he very well knew the ideologies of the different philosophers. One thing you should keep in mind that Orientalism is a book of more than 500 pages, and this book is trying to justify the concept of Orientalism which has been propounded by Edward Said, because he just changed the perception. The perception of Orientalism was of another type prior to Said, but after Said the perception changed a lot, and when he was saying something which has not been observed by others, therefore he has to justify each and every of his point with the quotations, with the ideologies of the other philosophers. That is why it is quite a bulky book and having a number of references from the other philosophers also. His book Orientalism was published in 1978, as I told you, and it described Orientalism as a construct of Western thought. Orientalism demonstrates how power operates in knowledge. So he is trying to show in this book how power of any kind, power related to, basically here the West was using the power of military, and how it manipulated knowledge and how it tried to dominate the East, that has been described in Orientalism. Now, how the concept developed. Traditionally, Orientalism had been the discourse of the West about the East, depending on the study of literary, topographical, anthropological, historical, sociological concepts of East. Those have been accumulating there since the Renaissance. So, that was the traditional perception of Orientalism, that the people of West are trying to study the literary, topographical, anthropological, historical and sociological text of East, and why they are studying? They are trying to know the culture of East, they are trying to know literature of East. And why these texts were there? These texts were accumulating there since Renaissance. So when they were having so many texts there, they were trying to study, and the simple meaning of Orientalism was that they are trying to study it with a purpose, so that they may be aware about all the things like literature, culture, tradition, history of East. But there was a fashion during 18th century to imitate Oriental art, the impressions of which could be seen in Western clothing, literature, music, furniture, art, etc. What happened? During 18th century, it became a fashion in West that the people of West were trying to imitate Oriental art. It means the paintings that were prepared at that time in West were the imitation of the paintings of East, and the clothing, literature, music, furniture, all these things were imitated from East. But during 19th century, Orientalist scholars translated writings of Orient into English. A step further, After the imitation, what happened? The texts which were lying there, which were studied by the Orientalists, they were translated into English. And this was based on the idea that an effective colonial downfall requires knowledge of colonial people. It means this is the thing which you should try to understand. This was not a simple phenomenon that they are interested in our culture and that is why they are studying. No. With that study, with that mastery of Eastern culture, they were trying to acquire knowledge of East with a purpose so that East may be dominated by them. They may be the colonial powers who are trying to tame the East. Besides its composition of poems, stories, plays on the themes related to the life of people of Orient, creation of painting depicting Orient culture, etc., gradually constructed an image of Orient in the eyes of the people of the West. Now, whatever paintings were prepared, whatever stories were written, poems were written, in which the description of Orient was made. And what happened? These texts, these paintings, these musical composition established a kind of image in the eyes of the West. That particular kind of culture was there in the East. Said challenged the traditional definition of Orientalism and pointed out that under the pretext of studying text from the East, Europeans defined themselves as superior race compared to the Orientals, and they justified their colonization by this concept. This is the main thrust of Orientalism, that they studied each and everything of the East, and after that they used this knowledge to dominate us, and gradually they tried to establish an image of East in comparison to the image of West, and in that comparison they tried to justify that West is superior in comparison to the East. This was not a process which can be brought within one day. Rather, it was a repeated image making. People were making an image of Orient and they were trying to justify that Western people are superior as far as culture, tradition, history and a number of things are concerned. And as they are inferior, as they are uncivilized, that is why West is right in colonization of the East. From the beginning of the 19th century until the end of World War II, France and Britain dominated the Orient and Orientalism. And this does not end here after the Second World War. Since Second World War till today, America has dominated the Orient. The things have not changed a lot. This perception of the Orientalism is still visible. Now, the book begins with the introduction of Orientalism. So, here I am discussing the introduction of Orientalism. Edward Said defined Orientalism in the introduction part of his book. He says the Orient was almost a European invention and it had been constructed historically to serve Europe, the repercussions of which could be seen even today. That I have told you that it has been created by Europe, and how it has been created by that I have discussed. He explains that the Orient has helped to define Europe or the West as its contrasting image, idea, personality, experience. The things that are quoted are within inverted commas have been said by Edward Said himself. In this way, they tried to establish that West is having a different kind of image and they are having different tradition, different culture. Not only different, rather they are having the superior one. He alludes to Michel Foucault's concept of discourse to justify that Orientalism is a Western style for dominating, restructuring, and having authority over the Orient. So try to understand the meaning of Orientalism. Orient is an idea that has a history and a tradition of thought, imagery, and vocabulary that had given it reality. Basically, Orient was an idea, but when that idea was proposed in a number of ways by the Western people and the image making continued for a long time, then it became a reality. It has got its imagery, it has got its thought, it has got, ultimately it was converted into reality. And in the book or in the introduction part of the book, he has defined Orientalism in three ways. Number one, academic, and academic is what Orientalists do or say. Another is imaginative or general. It is a style of thought based upon ontological and epistemological distinction between Orient and Occident. Later we would discuss about it. And then the third direction in which he is trying to define Orientalism is historical or the material direction, and he says that a Western Orientalism is a Western style for dominating and restructuring the Orient. Now understand this. Academic: anyone who teaches, writes, or conducts research about the Orient either on its specific or general aspect is an Orientalist. You know the definition of Orientalist, and whatever he does or say in relation to Orient is Orientalism. It was the initial meaning that in the field of academics Orientalism developed. Now another reference with which we can see the meaning of Orientalism, the general. The Orientalism is a style of thought based upon ontological and epistemological theories that there is essentially a distinction between the Orient and the Occident. And these theories define the nature of human beings and how the things developed. Everything has been defined in them, and the people of West have studied this theory and they pass the judgment there is essentially a distinction between the people of Orient and the people of Occident. Occident is the opposite of Orient. It means when Orient is East, Occident is automatically West. And third is the historical meaning. In this reference, Orientalism is a construct. It has been gradually constructed. As we construct something, we put one block, then another block, then in a particular fashion we put it, and ultimately a thing is constructed. Similarly, Orientalism is constructed. One idea has been propounded, another, and then both the ideas are coming together and something else has been constructed, and gradually whole of the concept of Orientalism has been intentionally constructed by the West. By making statements about it, authorizing the views of it, describing it, by teaching it, theorizing it, or ruling over it. Orientalism is a Western style adopted for dominating, restructuring, and exerting authority over Orient. Now, Orientalism, the concept. Said also quotes Gramsci's concept of hegemony in understanding the pervasiveness of Orientalist constructs and representations in West scholarship and reporting that their relation to the exercise of power over the Orient. So, as I told you that he has quoted a number of critics. So he is quoting Gramsci's concept of hegemony, and he told that pervasiveness of Orientalist construct, it means this construct which has been created by West was pervasive. Pervasive meaning it means it was amongst all the people of the West, and the purpose of it was merely to exercise power over the Orient. Orientalism developed into a powerful system of control affecting multidimensional fields related to one another directly or indirectly. So, it was a concept which was applied in such a manner that it affected not only one field, rather a number of fields like military, literary, political, cultural, administrative, theories, etc. Each and every field was affected by this kind of exertion of power of West on the East, and they all endeavored together to establish Europe's superiority over the Orient. Orientalism has acquired so authoritative position that no one writing, thinking or acting on the Orient could do so without taking account of the limitations on thought and action imposed by Orientalism. Now, this construct of Orientalism was so deeply ingrained in the mind of the people of West that whenever they write something, whenever they think about or act about Orient, the ideas which were ingrained in their mind, which were so deeply embedded in their mind that they are automatically affected by them. Here, try to understand the dichotomy between Occident and Orient. Edward Said argues that Europeans divided the world into two parts, the East, or you may call it Orient, and the West, or you may call it Occident. And what they tried to establish, what they tried to justify through the exertion of power, that Occident is self, Orient is others. Occident is ours and Orient is theirs. Occident, people of Occident are civilized and refined, while the people of Orient are uncivilized and barbaric. Occident is organized and scientific, while Orient is exotic and mysterious. Occident is progressive and advanced, while Orient is primitive and backward. This kind of dichotomy was established by the Western people, and they gave a particular image to the Orient or the East. So, thanks for patience listening.